Today we're gonna add 4 infection mod to this giant test tube, and this is going to test how good the infection are at being restrained and going vertically. I wanted to add glass, but I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna infect the glass and we won't see anything. So today we have the sculk mod, fungal infection spore, dawn of the flood, and ferriosis. And I'm going to place them, well, depending on the Y level. So starting up on the top, where it's green, lush, and there's actually nothing else above, we're gonna add ferriosis. Let's put a hive mind here with a few nodes around just to give it something to spread. Here we go. We got it in first stage. Next, around here in this giant hole, we're gonna add Dawn of the Flood while making its own hole. And almost all the way down, in this nice cavern here, we're gonna add a few mounds from the spore and let them infect here. We're gonna even put them in full pitch black darkness, well, as much as the day can come in. In fact, we're gonna put it at night permanently. And finally, at the bottom of the world, in the end of this mine shaft, we're gonna add the Sculk Horde mod. They're gonna have to climb all the way up if they want to claim this whole test tube for themselves. So all that is left to do now is to actually let them spawn, because I disabled mob spawning. And here we go. I'm not sure how or why. There's no phantom. Okay, what I'll do is replace this guy with a normal node instead of the ancient brain node. And now we can let them spread. Can the music stop? The sculk has stopped spreading here, and it's now, yeah, the ferriosis is starting to reclaim its territory. And I think that is new. I've never seen these three before. Or I'm just forgetting completely what happened in last time we used it. But we now have some infection for the proto grave mine, and somehow ferriosis has found its way down here and is going to probably claim this spawner for themselves. They also completely erase spore. All right, let's give spore a chance and let's put a few other mounds here so they at least do something before disappearing. All right, things has slowed down a little. We can see from here are 4 infections, and they are pretty distant apart, except that sculk is a bit too invasive, but that's to be expected. And okay, here we go. We have some spore mobs spawning at the top now. Right now, ferriosis has the stronger mobs, and that's always the case with them. And they are also changing the biome. It's not gonna affect mob spawning, as it still counts as an overworld biome. So we still have... Oh my god, this dungeon is full of mobs. Will they ever despawn? I don't know, but hey, there I am. They are spawning a lot, and here we have some tortoise, few mobs, and in the sculk region, yeah. Alright, so now that everything is a bit more stable, we're gonna let them infect and see if they can all survive in this vial tube. Who's gonna eat the other? We're about to find out. So as usual, sculk is very fast to infect, but this time he kinda stopped right there as Dawn of the Flood started gaining some points. At each intel points it grows and it spreads even more, and then spore started expanding even more, corrupting all of the stone and clashing with the Sculk Horde mod. Now the Proto Hive Mind reached phase 2 right here, and somehow, right after that, it died and it stopped infecting. At that point, Spore had a Proto Hive Mind and completely secured its position. And this is where ferriosis reached phase 4 and started infecting again. Unlike Sculk that spreads only on the surface of a block, ferriosis goes completely deep, so it seems slower, but the number of block infected is higher right now than the Sculk. And pretty much at this point, all of them reached some sort of equilibrium where they all met at 1/4 of the test tube, which is looking pretty nice. But now things are about to change. Alright, we're back from the time lapse, and it's looking pretty great right now. Unfortunately, we have a deceased. Well, there's a few brute. Oh no, it's tank form. There's a few tank form left. And unfortunately, Proto Grave Mine is gone. I don't know if they're gonna spawn another one. Dawn of the Flood wave is at 5 right now, so there might be a way that it can respawn. I don't know. But at this point, things have stopped moving, like I said. The Proto Hive Mine, which is somewhere around here. Here? No. Wait, here is pretty much doing nothing right now. There's a watchtower in the wall here, and they're trying to reach something. You can see when their behavior looks like that, and they're trying to go through a wall, it's because the Proto Hive Mind noticed a target and is probably trying, yeah, they're trying to get to the tank form. This is what they're trying to do. So Sculk is pretty much in limbo right now. They have nothing to kill, no points to gain, and they are pretty stuck there. Variosis will probably continue to go down, erasing what is left of Dawn of the Flood until maybe Dawn of the Flood respawns something else. But they have secured the top of this test tube pretty solidly. So let's shake the tube a little bit, shall we? First of all, we're gonna add the Ancient Skull Breakdown again. So this should do something, I hope. And next we're gonna open Variosis config, and we're gonna allow them to spawn everywhere. We're not gonna enable the nightmare mode. I don't want everything to just explode, but this should move things forward. Spore can deal with himself. I think they're strong enough, but okay, here we go. Well, this is what happens. There's a Gory Mass here. It's gonna probably die, but it's going to kill all the mounts here. And I don't know how it's gonna go for these guys here. There's a few left. Let's see. We have Skulk up here. Okay, there we go. This is the Ancient Skull Brain now doing that. It can infect, I think, the ground, the topmost layer ground of the infection. So now I should go in survival mode, because if I'm in spectator, that random tick speed doesn't happen for Variosis, which is, I think, out of the 4 infection, the only one that works with random tick speed. So Skulk is kind of doing a quick work right now of Variosis, but they have 12,000 points and it's going up, but we can actually get the status and see that they have 22,935 block infected, which we can check with the Skullhorn mod, and it has 11,000, so it has half the amount of block infected for twice the size of Variosis. Oh, and okay, here we go. We can see some Variosis. It looks like Netherrack from here, but there's some Variosis block coming through, and the tank farm are getting attacked. Oh my god, the Skulk is making quick work right now of Variosis. I'm surprised the Proto Gravemind doesn't feel threatened right now. There's mobs spawning everywhere. There's, whatever that is, killing every spore mobs. I don't think it has maybe the space to put a womb. These guys are dying from Variosis. They're cheering right now. Okay, so there is an all-out war here. There's some spore mobs. There's some Variosis stuff in there. And these tank form are healing faster than they take damage. That's crazy right now. Also, I haven't seen a single super evolved with the spore. It's all Umarmers or normal infected. I don't think they have the space to get some kill points. And then... Oh, Skulk is here. Skulk is going up. What's the Skulk mass? Okay, they are at 200. They are very low. They are stuck in phase 1, but they are slowly going up, filling the test tube. And although it seems like Skulk has taken over here, remember that Skulk only infect 1 block in surface, meaning that everything inside this area is still Variosis. The Skulk is like a skin. It's covering up Variosis, which would be kinda strong if I could find a way to make them fight together in a team. Okay, so these 4 tanks keep fighting everything that spawns here. And as you can see, there is some barrier blocks breaking from these guys. They just ignore whatever is going on, but they are holding on as the biome slowly comes down for them. Alright, it's been a while, and nothing really is moving right now. The Skulk is slowly gaining, like, distance. It started to, like, convert the bubble of the Proto Hive Mind, well, what's inside this area, and Variosis is slowly starting to take place in here. There's more and more mobs. There's a Sand Spewer here. All the tank forms are dead here, and there is also now a war between Variosis and Spore in this area, as Variosis is slowly going down while Skulk is eating the blocks up there. There's still some weird patroller form here, but Variosis is gaining point extremely slowly, so I don't think they'll reach another phase in this experiment. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's one of the new Calamity, a Stalmarder. And it's on a mission. It's going up. It's just rising. How it's doing that, I don't know. It's probably like hugging the wall and climbing. What the heck? This is not the behavior I expected from this guy. He's like, I need to go, my planet needs me. He's just staring through the whole test tube. And he also no, he did not destroy that. Never mind. I thought he destroyed the Outpost Watcher. It just unload when I'm too far. Yeah, he's just going up. Can it destroy Variosis' block? Yes. Okay. So I guess it is really going up. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen if he reaches the top. There's some things to fight here. There's a node, hive mind? Wait, no, he's stuck on the sculk. He can't go up. I think the durability of the sculk is too high for the stall mortar. He's just there standing. No. Okay, so I checked and calamities can only grieve a hardness of 5. So I guess this thing has a hardness of, well, above 5. So to make things more interesting, we could... Okay, so I'm kind of an idiot. I stopped the recording after changing the config to give the opportunity to the stall mortar to break the sculk, and I forgot to press record. So this is what happened. It actually took its time, it went up, and it got stuck up here, and unfortunately it died. The Variosis responded with very strong mobs, and it just destroyed the stall mortar. It was just standing there doing nothing, so you didn't really miss much from this one. And unfortunately for the Proto Gravemind, well, I don't think it's gonna respawn. Nothing is happening with them. It is just an empty void left by them in a biome getting infected slowly by Variosis. So I think our test tube is pretty well mixed up. It's really nice to see the stratification of the infections inside the test tube, but don't forget that this is a very restrictive scenario, so of course they couldn't really act like they should. The skull got stuck at 0 mass. While they could infect blocks, nothing else happened. Spore managed to make a proto hive mind, but it just did nothing with it. There's like no attack, no defense, no evolve. It did 1 womb, and that's it. I don't think it had enough space to do anything, and I'm pretty sure the barrier could probably mess up with its brain. Although there was no barrier in the previous experiments, so I don't think it's that. It's just probably the space and the conditions that are not happening. For Dawn of the Flood, unfortunately, their adventure stopped pretty abruptly during the time lapse. And due to the nature of this area, there's nothing they can do. The only one that still infects slowly and that will grow, but very, very, very slowly, is Variosis. They're going to keep growing, keep gaining points, but I'm gonna be here until I'm like 50 years old, because they're gaining points at 1 at a minute. What the heck was that? It just pooped a bunch of mushroom. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what type of experiment you want me to try, and maybe I'll do this test again with the test tube, but on a rack with multiple tubes and multiple infection, 1 in each tube. So let me know if you like this idea, and as always, you're awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.